CIT 1122, packet tracer instructional video 641. In this video, you get to build a whole network, and there's not a lot of leeway. If you don't do it exactly right, you're not going to score all the points. And we're going to go ahead and work through this. So there are a couple of things that are a little bit weird, and try to point those out so that you are able to do this without too much trouble. There are only two parts: building the network and configuring Ether channels. So let's go ahead and get started on part one. Part one is grab 3 switches and then connect them all with straight through cables. That is what they're asking you to do. So the switches that we need are the 2960s. So just go ahead and add 3 2960s to your topology. And then the next thing they'd like for you to do is connect the switches with straight through cables. Now, technically, straight through and crossover would both work. And if you wanted to be a stickler and you wanted to say auto MDX is not working, then crossovers would be the only thing that would work. These switches do have auto MDX enabled by default, so you could use crossovers. Here's what I found with doing this, though: the crossovers they don't score all the points. So just follow my lead on this and use the straight throughs like they specify in the instructions, even though technically I really feel like we should be using crossovers, and it makes me feel a little weird that we're not. But what I've done so far is I've just set up the G0 slash G01, G0 slash 1 dash 2 on these interfaces, and this is going to be channel group 2. No, group 1. Channel group 1. We'll call it channel group 1. And that's what's going to be right there. And on this side, this is going to be channel group 2. And that is interfaces. Let's just put it here. Let's go here. Let's go FA0 slash 21-22. And this is channel group 2. Cool. And one other thing that let's go ahead and grab. We'll take this down to the bottom here, and we'll do FA0 slash 23-24, and we'll do this channel group 3, and this is LACP. And this, oops, let's go back to this. This is also LACP. And this over here is PAGP. That way, you'll be able to identify each one of these. So this is going to be 23 and 24 crossed here. So we'll go ahead and grab this and do 23 to 23, and let's do 24 to 24, and we are in business. Okay, everything's cabled the way it's supposed to. Next thing, you have to change the names of the devices. If you do not, you will not score any points. So whatever switch you want to be switch A is got to be named SWA. Whichever switch you want to be switch B, it needs to be capital SWB. And whatever switch you want, go away, thank you. For switch C, has to be labeled SWC. Otherwise, you won't score any of the points. And we just scored 12 points, just like that. So that's pretty good. That's the bulk of what they gave you across the top here. Grab the network devices, use the 2960s, use the straight through cables, rename everything SWA, SWB, SWC. I think we're good. Okay, good. Let's go down to step 3, connecting the devices. We've done that as well, and we followed the pattern that is listed here. A to B is the Gs, A to C is the 2122s, and B to C is the 2324s. And PAGP is here, LACP is here, LACP is here. So just like writing these down and putting them right next to the links, I think it helps a lot, especially when we go to start building. Now, there's only a couple of parameters that we have to remember. So having only a couple of parameters that you have to remember is going to make your life a lot easier. So down here below, it says part 2, configure Ethernet. And we're going to start with setting a PAGP link for Ether channel between A and B. So follow the procedure that was used in previous activities. Sounds good. We're going to kind of batch process this a little bit. It does make it harder if we make any mistakes, but it is a little faster. So for instance, for all three of the switches, you're going to have 4 ports that are going to be trunk ports, physically trunk ports, and then you can go back and you can take those ranges of those and you can separate them out. So let's go ahead and set all of the ports on A, B, and C that are going to be used for trunking as trunk ports. So switch A, not a very good start there. Config T, hostname, switch WA. And so the 4 ports this one is using is FA2122, G01, G02. So we'll do int range FA0/21-22, comma G0/1-2. Switch port mode trunk. Done. That one's done. Great. Let's move on. Switch B. Switch B is G0, 1 and 2 and FA2324. So let's go ahead and fire those ones off. Hostname is SWB. And int range FA0/23-24. 24, comma G0/1-2. And that's switch port mode trunk. So those are set. Great. Close that one. And let's do the same thing on switch 3. So, or switch C, I should say. So int range FA, oops, yeah, FA 0/23-20. Well, let's do it this way. FA 0/21 through 24. That's a little easier. And those are all set. And we'll do switch port mode trunk. And all of our physical interfaces are now in a trunk state. I have 25%. I think that's where we're supposed to be right now. Let's go ahead and work through the Ether channels individually. So everybody, all the interfaces that are supposed to be trunk ports are now trunk ports. Let's create our virtual, we'll then create our virtual interfaces, but let's go ahead and assign those interfaces into port groups. So let's go to SWA and let's do the link. Let's do port channel 1 first. So we'll just do a quick exit here. We'll do int range, G0/1-2. This is for port channel 1. Sounds good. And now we've already set this as switch port mode trunk. Let's do a quick shut. And then let's figure out how to set up our channel group, which is channel -group 1 mode. And then we're gonna have to read a little bit. So our channel group for 1 here is going to be PAGP. So if we just do a question mark, you can see that we got a lot of options for PAGP. We could be auto, we can be desirable. Well, I guess a lot of options, or two options. So those would work. And it says, following procedure was used in previous activities. Configure port channel 1 as PAGP Ether channel between. Both sides should negotiate the Ether channel link. So really, what we're looking for here is not desirable for PAGP. It's auto. Auto is going to auto configure, right? So we'll do auto there. And we should have scored a couple points there, hopefully. And that's good. And let's do an exit. And let's create that port group. So now we're going to do int. And then port channel 1. And switch port mode trunk. And that one is created. So That one's done. Let's do the other one. Let's do port channel 2. So that's going to be on interfaces FA 0/21 and 22. So we'll do a quick exit here. We'll do INT range FA 0/21-22. And we're going to do channel group 2 mode. And now this one's in LACP, and it says for port channel group 2, A and C, both sides should negotiate ether channel. So we're going to do mode. And if we're doing LACP, we're going to go ahead and set this one as active. Active is what we want for this one. And that should work. We're looking pretty good now. And let's go ahead and create that port channel. So INT port channel 2 and set that for trunking. And we should be pretty good on switch A. Let's go ahead and close that out and let's move over to switch B. Switch B. Oh, whoops. This is back to A. 1 second. Config T INT range G 0/1-2. I can see there I forgot I shut those down. We'll do a no shut on those and then it will come back up. Cool. That should help. Good. Okay, let's go to switch B. So switch B has a PAGP and a LACP also, port channels 1 and 3. Let's set up port channel 1 first. So we'll do INT range G 0/1-2. And that is going to be channel dash group 1 mode. And the mode on this one is it would be set as desirable or auto. Let's set it as, we'll just go with auto on this one. I think that'll work for us. So I'll set that as auto. That'll bring the link up. It was negotiated. And that part's done. Let's do an exit and let's do INT port channel 2 switch port mode trunk. And that's created. So let's now go to the link between switch B and C, which is the 2324. So let's go to that range. So we'll go INT FA 0/23-24. INT range FA 0/23-24. And let's create that channel group. So that's channel dash group. That's channel group 3 mode. And the link between these two, this one's got some specialties to it. Configure port channel 3 channel as LACP channel between B and C. C initiates the negotiation with B. So if we just did the question mark again here, just to look at the options. And this is LACP. There are 3 LACP options. So if C is going to instigate with B, B is going to be set as passive. So we're going to set this one as passive. So these two interfaces will be set for passive, and that's done. And then we'll exit out of there, and let's make that interface port channel 3 switch port mode trunk, and that's done. I think that's all we need to do there. We'll figure it out when we get to the end. We only have 62 points, so I'm hoping this works out. Let's go over to switch C and let's configure its 2 trunk links. So 21, 22 are going back to switch A, and that's a LACP link. So that's LACP, and both sides should negotiate. So we'll just set those as active. So INT FA 0/21-22. I need the word range in there, or this is not going to work. So put those ranges in there. And interface range 2122, channel group 2 mode. And I think we want active on this one, so this is black P. So that should have worked out all right. We'll do a quick exit, and let's go ahead and create that interface. So INT port channel 2 switch port mode trunk. Back to exit again. Okay, I think that one's done. And we've got one more to post, which is FA2324, which is also LAC-P. And in this time, we have to make sure this one is set to active, because if we make it passive, it'll be passive on both sides. It will not work. So INT range FA0/23-24. And that is channel group 3 mode active, and that should kick that link up. And I think we should be in pretty good shape. We now need to create that port that port channel. So let's do an exit here, and we'll do interface port channel 3 switch port mode trunk, and that should do it for us. And we're short some points. Let's see what we're missing here. It seems right to me. Active, auto, passive, and I think we set to auto here. Well, let's see what we're missing here. Let's go ahead and check results. And A modes G01, G02, our channel mode is incorrect. And the link is also set as incorrect here. Channel mode is incorrect here as well. Okay, so that's the same connection between A and B. That says we have those not right. So let's go take a look at switch A. Oh boy, Control Shift 6, and see if we can't fix this real fast. Like so, show run. And we set those to auto here. Maybe we want to set those to desirable. Or let's take a look at switch B. Let's see what we have on it, and we'll do show run on it. And they're on auto too. So we have auto with auto. We want to set at least one side as desirable. Let's go ahead and change this one. So we'll do config B, config T, int range G0/1-2, and we'll do no channel dash group 1 mode auto to get it out of its port channel group. Let's do a quick shutdown, and then let's just to make sure, we'll do channel dash group 1 mode desirable, and we'll see how that goes, and we'll do a no shut on that, and that should kick up, and it looks pretty good. I feel like we're in good space here, so I set that to desirable. I guess they wanted desirable on both sides there, which I didn't think they did, but let's see what happens if when the link comes up, and yeah, it's still down. So let's go back and take a look at that again. So just a quick show run. And we have this one set at auto, and this one, let's go ahead and change that one. So config T. And INTG 0/1-2. INT, oh boy, INT range G 0/1-2. No channel group 1 mode auto. And let's go channel group 1 mode desirable. And this time we're going to go ahead and fire it through, which is interesting because I did it differently last time so that we didn't have to have any little extras there. But I guess if it's not popping correctly, you got auto and auto or auto desirable, it should have came up. Anyway, not the end of the world. We did make it to 100% eventually, and that's the important thing. So I will see you in chapter 7.